Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the relocation franchise. Now, don't confuse this with the RFL. This is the Multinational Football League, MNFL. Name is still pending, but this will be Season 1. And what we did is we relocated every team to make sure it has a different name, different place. Now, I did mess up on a few. There is 2 Memphis teams, but that is it. All right. Should be an enjoyable series. Hope you enjoy it. And I have my friend in commentary here. You call him Ice Storm, whatever you want to call him. He is right with me here if you want to give the fans a little hello.
Hello.
All right. So short but sweet. And we are going to kick off with the Montreal Mounties versus the Portland Snowhawks. All right, let me just...
Speed, slow,
Yep.
speed, slow,
Thank you.
slow, yep.
All right, and here we go. Montreal kicks off, and Portland to receive, as they'll receive this one at about the 7. A nice little juke, and he'll go to the 30. Here is Portland's quarterback, and I believe Michael Penix. Yes, Michael Penix. So just from that, you can kind of see what this team used to be as we take a look at the rookie quarterback in his first year. Handoff. And he'll get a short gain there. No inactives for the Mounties today. So here we go. 5-yard gain on that last one. 2nd and 5. Penix across the middle. It's caught. 1st and 10. Snowhawks.
That's a nice first down right there.
Yeah, good breed on that play. 41st yard line. 1st and 10. Penix takes a long shot, and it's caught! Down to the opposing 38. Big play by the Portland Snowhawks.
Well, I like aggressive plays to start out the game. That's what I like. And now, honestly, that's a smart move. Be aggressive first in the first game. Torch up this defense.
Of course. Man in motion here. Gonna be a wide outside receiver here. Won't matter, though. Oh, wow. Look at that. Broke quite the amount of tackles to stay positive, but we do have a holding call on the Snowhawks. This will back them up 10.
I don't think even if he didn't get the flag, I don't think they would have gotten much anyways. Maybe a yard.
Penix under pressure. He goes down. An 11-yard loss. And they are backed up into their own territory. Alex Highsmith with the sack there, followed by, I believe that was Watt coming off the edge. Yes, sir. So these Mounties, they have an impressive defensive line.
And a good head coach.
Yeah, and a pretty decent head coach. 2nd and 31. It's going to be hard here. Takes this outside shot, and it's caught. Pretty decent gain. Doesn't do much, though. It's still a 3rd and very long for the Snowhawks. Penix with the snap. He acts like he's going to throw it. He's got Robinson, or sorry, that's McKellen. Thought they'd be working with Robinson here, but they do get back to scrimmage yards as this punt is up and away. the 8-yard line as Russell Wilson, your starting quarterback for the Mounties. And remember, in this league, it's not about who you have on your team, it's how you develop your new franchise. So as you kind of look to see what's going on, you'll find that there's a lot of places you can go with some of these guys on certain teams. As we see a 1-yard gain from the run there. 2nd and 9. Motion to the tight end. Goes in the backfield. Here's a handoff. That is Najee Harris. And it'll be 3rd and 8. So
have been struggling so far like crazy. That's the thing.
on 3rd down, we'll see what Russell does. Wilson fires a deep shot and it's caught. He finds Pickens.
Hey, GP, George Pickens.
Yeah, very young but very, very good wide receiver. As you look at the contested catches that he's made throughout his career, not only as a Steeler, but now, obviously, they're going to have to look at it as a Mountie. And Harris picking up some yards on the ground. He'll get 5. 2nd and 5 off of the run. Wilson takes another shot and it's caught. That one was Williams. Him and Pickens kind of collide into each other after that one, but speaking of colliding, this might be the final. Yep, there we go. Final play of the first quarter, as this one has been all defensive. 0-0. And the Mounties with the ball.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with
And we are back
So,
in Portland.
Yep. Back in Portland, where the Mounties trying to mount a successful drive. Big pass downfield, it's caught. Pickens gets inside the 10 to the 9. 1st and goal for the Mounties.
Wow.
This is what I'm talking about here. It's not necessarily, again, the teams that they were before. It's the teams that they're going to manage to put themselves into a category of. So these players have a different mindset now. Wilson with a pass down the middle. This one will get to the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal. Here we go, and looks like a run. We'll see if I'm right here. It is.
Yep.
And Harris, just barely couldn't get in. Now it's 3rd and goal. This is a huge one for dominance. And what a goal line stand. They try to pitch it. Simmons isn't fooled. So Najee Harris gets wrapped up in the backfield on what is a rather critical read on the defense as the kick attempt by Boswell. It is up and good for the Mounties. 3-0 to start the second quarter.
And to start off the whole entire league.
Exactly right. As the two teams in the north have kind of traded as of far for offensive possessions. Of course, your Mounties getting the points, but man, Portland was close. Penix
Probably be,
with a
playing
pass here.
in this
Hold on.
first game.
Pass here. Gets 6 yards to the 34.
A nice throw right there, and these fans
So
getting their
on
first look
second
at the
down,
QB1 of the future. I'd imagine it's got to be a big
they're going to
plus
pass
to
it
get his
here.
first start
Penix
here in front of
in trouble, and there's Watt. Runs into a brick wall.
There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best.
Give us a little breakdown here, partner. What happens here?
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and they had designs on having a
That
big
the
year
offensive
on
line
going
just
anywhere.
could
They
not
gotta find a way to
keep
him on
TJ
plays
Watt
and
away
throw
from the
football.
QB, and TJ, the boy,
So here's a
takes down Michael
14.
Penix.
There you go.
And, dude,
TJ
Michael
Watt is
Penix
now
should have thrown that out,
nicknamed.
too.
Yeah.
Now Penix.
So maybe a bad read from Penix here. And another one for Watt.
Another one.
That's his second sack in a row.
T.J. Watt in there.
The Mounties looking strong in this first one. And I told you guys, they have a very good defensive line. So, I mean, Penix is going to have trouble here. Look at that. Absolutely destroying this young quarterback.
Destroying his hopes and dreams.
Just doesn't have enough time to find anybody open. They're going to punt this one from the goal line. And a fair catch, reasonably called there by Cordero Patterson. And the 48-yard line, now inhabited by, you know who, the Mounties. And Russell Wilson, as he goes out with an empty backfield. A bunch set. And here we go, a sack for the Portland Snowhawks.
And the people here in Portland is hyped up about it.
They get hyped just before the 2-minute warning, where we'll be back in Portland. And defense has again, it's going to be a big defensive battle here. You can see it early, but this pass, oh Lord, that was very close to being a catch. Whew. Kind of dangerous one there. Third down, and they're just going to run the ball. I guess they just want to give this ball to the Portland Snowhawks and see what they can do here. I don't necessarily like that call. As this punt from the 39, this one gets pinned deep, but a good return as Penix comes back out on a mission. He was shut down on the previous drive. I mean, he's got to take it as some kind of disrespect now. You got to watch TJ Watt with his X Factor on. Penix runs straight into a tackle. Alex Highsmith with his second. That line is just collapsing right now.
Oh my God, look at this. And then TJ
So, this, again, great game for Watt and Alex Highsmith as of late. Meanwhile, 2nd and 20 now. Penix. He's got the slip screen. He gets the stiff arm as well, but the defender comes right back for him. That's Patrick Queen. So 3rd and 16 now. I don't understand this one. It looks like they're going to run the ball. They will. And it doesn't get anything yet. Very strange decisions on both sides.
I guess they want to see which defense is better, I guess. I don't know.
I guess that's how it'll be. And this one, fair catch once again, but this time at the 41. So the Mounties put some trust in their defense, and it came out very well for them. And, oh, wide open, Pickens, touchdown! And they're lighting up the scoreboard.
And that's our very first touchdown of the league.
Very emotional moment right there. Pickens with the first touchdown in the MNFL.
themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime.
Dude,
Now you gotta force the other
that
team out of their
defender just
comfort
had no
zone,
chance
and it
against the
changes the
George
way you
Pickens.
approach the second half as well.
Yeah,
How
I
you
mean,
work to do things on
absolutely
offense, and your
burned
defense feels much better
through
too.
the secondary to give the Mounties a 10-0 lead. Of course, that 10 still pending, as that one is good. One play and 59 yards, all they needed for a touchdown. I mean, just incredible. What a call.
49 seconds left to go.
Yep. We got under a minute in the first half, as he'll be taken down at the 26. Now, Penix has got to get himself out of trouble here. 10 points down, which means you're looking at a multi-possession, letdown here. Penix
Oh my God.
trying to scramble out of it. He'll find some room. Penix
That's a first down.
running down the sideline, and he'll go out at the 41. Penix looking for a roughing the passer call, and I don't necessarily, or unnecessary roughness. I can't be biased here. I don't want to say that one was necessary, as Penix running once again, and that's what this young quarterback's good for. The Falcons drafted him for that reason. 2nd and 1 now to the 33. Looking at the Mounties. Pass here is caught, and I believe they do get out of bounds here to stop the clock. They're inside the 25, not quite to the 20. They'll locate them at the 22. So they're in scoring range here. Penix slings it. He breaks a tackle, and that's Kyle Pitts. Second and 1. 19 seconds left. Portland. Penix. The Pitts. Touchdown. Pitts with a very physical reception for it right there. The tight end. Absolutely incredible pass. And what a way to run this one. I mean, look at this. He gets caught up at the goal line, puts him in the spin cycle, and makes it through.
Kyle Pitts just showing his dominance right now.
Absolutely. 5 plays, 74 yards.
30 seconds.
Yeah, just 30 seconds is all they needed on that drive, as this one has now turned into an offensive shootout very late in the second quarter.
And they're going to take the knee.
And we'll see. No, they're not taking the knee. This isn't victory formation.
Maybe.
First and 10. And the handoff. They're probably going to look to run some clock out. And both teams will decide that's a good idea, as the Mounties go a little crazy.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome.
And here we are.
And we don't have anything as far as all the games so far. Of course, this is our first one, so we don't have a halftime report for you. I'll tell you what, though. This game is looking to be an excellent one here, especially if Pickens picks up from where he left off in the first half. Only 3 receptions, 121 yards, and a tutty to end it. And it gives the Mounties the lead. First and 10. Handoff to Najee. And it'll be 3 yards. Brings up second down. And you've got to watch this passing game as well as the run game, too. They have a decent running back there, and he's been picking up yards for him. But there's a sack to slow down the pass game. And they're getting a little chippy down there. That's Simmons. He's saying, look at the scoreboard, but it's 3 points ahead for the Mounties. 3rd and 14. Under pressure, he'll throw this one out, and you can kind of see the difference between rookie and veteran right there. Senses the rush, throws it out, where Penix just really wants to run that ball. We'll see what changes in the second half of this game. And the fair catch called. Very wise decision. He had 2 defenders crashing in on him.
Part of it's really not his fault. Part of it goes on to the offensive line because they cannot contain any single one of them linemen on the other side. And
well, Pickens, or I'm sorry, Penix gets the ball out right here, about 8 yards on the pass. Portland has not had very many yards on the ground or the air, with of course their best.
What was that? Wait a minute.
Well, it got tipped at the line, partner. I think that's why that fell so quickly. 3rd and 2.
Looked like he hit his guy with the football.
Penix fires. Pass is caught. And it's Pitts, the number one target for Portland as of right now.
I mean, I think whoever has Kyle Pitts on maybe their fantasy draft might be lucky right now. Wow, that might be freaking cool right there. Michael Penix throws, caught, gain of 5 to the 36-yard line.
And that'll make it 2nd down.
And 2nd and 5. And you see the Snowhawk come out. There we go. Handoff, throws. Oh, caught right to the running back. Number 30. 3rd and 1. Defense has got to lock in somehow, and I think this defense has got a chance. Whoa, caught. And that will be a 1st down.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. It's 1st and 10 at the 29, so they must have had a pretty good series of events that led up to this point, as the handoff goes to the 5, or I'm sorry, 5 yards. Excuse me. They got a little chippy at the end of that play there. Cameras panned off. Don't know exactly what happened there. 2nd and 5. Another handoff. And the defense took it to heart. 3rd down and 6.
Now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Here we go. Michael Penix looking.
Penix under pressure, and he throws it away. But Watt was closing in on him. He might have gotten hit as he had thrown that. Excuse me. But they'll settle for the field goal as the kick is up, and it is good to tie this game up. Cousins is the placeholder. 2 on the kick.
Tied with the Monty.
Yep, we're all tied up in Portland. 10-10. And like I said, this matchup is going outstanding if you're a defensive guy. Not even just it's not even just a matter of if you're a fan or not. This is a brilliant season opener. Coming down to the wire at the end of the 3rd.
Nice handoff, and that's almost a 1st down. They're going to mark it at the inches, 2nd and inches.
So they still need a little bit more. The pitch. They didn't get this one last time. But now Harris has a wide open field. Stiff arms a man and steps out of bounds. Hello. What a play. Najee Harris waking up the sideline. They haven't gotten anything going in the 2nd half that much. And wow, he got decked at the end of that. But it's Williams with a 1st down, and we are going to the 4th quarter. And let me tell you, this game has been truly sensational.
That's the end of the
Russell
third
Wilson,
quarter.
he's been taking some hits, but Penix as well. As you see in that first quarter, he got clobbered by Watt as we'll see him restart their drive here at the 25 in opposing territory. Wilson throws it. Taught! Oh no, they're going to say it's incomplete. Couldn't hold on. Wow. So here we are, handoff goes to the 23. It's going to be a 3rd and long as the Mounties looking to capitalize. Wilson, he's trying to run and he's sacked. Portland catching up in the sack category, and that might be just what they needed. Arnold with the sack there. I'm not going to try and attempt to butcher his name. Look at that. He was trying to extend that drive like crazy. But they just did not let him get anywhere. 4th and 17 now. The kick is up. It is good. Wow, nailed that one from far out. And that's what this football league is about. I mean, you got to really put things in perspective. That is a long kick. And that's why most college kickers can't do that. But again, you look at the NFL, or even just the MNFL right now. That is our longest field goal here as the Mounties are going to try and mount on defense. Penix is going to take the short option. He looked like he was going deep there. I don't know if maybe that's his eyes or what's going on here. Looked like he had his helmet perked up a little bit. That's why I say that. And a very quick pass right there. And there's McLeod on the catch. 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's the run, and he gets stuffed behind the line. They haven't been able to run this ball for nothing. 2nd and 11. 3 minutes, about 20 seconds remaining in this ball game. And like I said, man, it's been close. As this one is a slip screen that goes about, well, net game of like 6. But 3rd and 4 is looming here. Pass is caught down the middle. Kyle Pitts, the physical tight end. And again, that's what you kind of look for in your tight ends. You look for them to be physical. You look that they can catch. And
that they could block.
Yeah, well, obviously good blockers. But he hasn't been that one today, but he's definitely helped this team in the passing game. Meanwhile, on 1st and 10, they'll work from the 37. Pass here is caught. And it'll be a 7-yard gain. That should take us to the 2-minute warning in our first ever game in this franchise. 13-10. The Mounties still with the lead. So here we go, back in Portland. 2nd and 3. Penix launches this one. Looks like maybe a check down, but it is caught for a 1st down. As we'll see what happens here. Dwindling time here. Penix, he doesn't have much time in the pocket, and he's sacked. His 4th sack today, TJ Watt. Penix. And he's going to run. And he slides, takes out a Mountie as he slides. Don't know if that should be a penalty or not. I wouldn't assume so, but Huh. For that, I mean, you never know. Penix. Slant. Intercepted! The Mounties will win their first ever game and our first ever game in this franchise. Unbelievable finish.
And everyone in Portland is shocked.
That is Jackson on the interception. And wow, what a good time to have that. I mean, that is his first ever interception. I think that's the first interception we've had ever in this league. So, history is going to be made a lot in this matchup, as it is our first. They're not going to be able to stop the clock as much. All the Mounties need is a first down, and Harris finds it hard to come by. Second timeout for Portland, wasted on that first play. And we're going to see if they can maybe get the ball back and maybe eat my words from earlier. And, wow. This might end up making me eat my words. And they're going to take the knee here. Very good time waster. As I do think, yep, this one's over. Just barely had enough time to kneel the ball. They're getting ready to punt, but it's not going to matter.
Wait a minute, what?
They are going to get the punt off, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. This is the end of the game, and a decisive tackle to finish it out. 13-10. Your first MNFL game comes to a close, as this one was very close for the first ever matchup. A defensive battle, but also it had its fair share of offensive plays there. You see Pickens catching that ball on the sideline. There's Watt. And then Pitts. Like I said, flashes of offense, but not very many. TJ Watt taking up the spotlight for that. And Pickens is the man that made that happen. So, Russell Wilson, a touchdown, almost 160 yards. Michael Penix, one touchdown, 167 yards, and an 86.4. So you can see the QB battle there. It was the rookie winning that one, but obviously not the game.
Yeah.
Looking at the player stats now, we'll see. I mean, you got to look at the defensive side of this too. The Mounties had a day with TJ Watt recording 4 sacks. He'll have our most to start off.
5 solos.
Brady Jarrett with a sack. Gotta remember that. Justin Simmons had his sack. Arnold, excuse me if I terribly butcher this. Beketai has 1 sack. And I believe that is it. 1 interception for Dante Jackson. And Highsmith records a sack. And that will be...
It was a major part of...
That'll be it. And as you look through... As you look through this game, it was close in the first half. Second quarter is where they really got going, and then the second half kind of dwindles off. But that was this game. Stay tuned for more, as we will see you next time on the MNFL.